Hi everyone, today we'll be looking at what a prose is. Remember in our last video we discussed what literature is, and we discussed the genres or types of literature, which we mentioned prose, drama and poetry. We also treated the forms of literature, which are written literature and oral literature. You can say written literature and unwritten literature. We're going to discuss one of the genres which is prose. So what is prose? So by meaning, the term prose is derived from the Latin words prosus, which means forward, continuous or straight on. Forward, continuous or straight on. So prose is a continuous piece of writing with greater amount of words, it does not have a regular rhythmic pattern like poetry, where you have rhyme, rhythm, stanzas and so on. Prose doesn't conform to those rules. So a prose textbook is called a novel. A prose textbook is called a novel. And one who writes prose textbooks, which is a novel, one who writes novel is called a novelist. One who writes novels is called a novelist. And a prose text is written in chapters and paragraphs. Let me just show you an example. Okay, let me show you some example. So I will show you some textbooks, literature textbooks. Now you know the difference between, if we want to pick any book to read, you should be able to differentiate between prose, drama and poetry. So for this is The Selfless Leader by Stephen Okigbo. This one is a drama text. If you take a look at it, you see, first of all, you see the cast. If you open, you see something like, you see Act 1, Scene 1. This is an example of what I mean by a drama textbook. Then a prose textbook. This is Second Class Citizen by Buchi Emecheta. So when you open, you see chapters and paragraphs. So this is chapter 1. You see high amount of words. If you open, continue like that until you get to the next chapter, and so on and so forth. Then for poetry, this is still drama. You can see Act 1, Scene 1. This is still drama. Then this is a collection of poems, Heavy Tongue by Aiwana Andrew. So this is an example of what we call poetry. We check poetry, you notice that you see a collection of poems. This is a poem. Analysis down here. You keep seeing poems like that. Teach Me Wisdom, Ben O. So when you open, you still see, this is one example of a poem. Tell on that fool. If you open, you see the analysis. If you open, you see another poem here, which is called Hard Times, the analysis the other way, and so on. So this is also Emily Bronte, which is a Wuthering Heights. Like this one is also a prose. This is a prose. You can see chapter 1. This is chapter 1. You keep seeing and paragraph. But when you take a look at the drama text, you won't see something like paragraph. Rather, you see Act 1, Scene 1, and you see the characters. You see the characters. So this is the first speaker. The first speaker is Papa Comfort. You can see that. The second speaker is Mama Comfort, and so on. You won't see something like this in a prose textbook. So I hope that illustration is enough to show you the difference between a prose, drama, or differences between them. So we'll move on to the next part, which is the types of prose. Basically, there are two types of prose. Two types So there are two types of prose. Namely, number one, and number two. So the types of prose are the fiction and the non-fiction. In our next video, we will talk about the fiction. We'll focus more on fiction, and after then, we'll also treat non-fiction, the types of fiction, the types of non-fiction in the next video.